Hey everybody, it's Sunny and Char, and happy harvest full moon. Today is September 13th, Friday the 13th, 2019. So I think it's a lucky day. That's my feeling about it, and I feel very lucky because today's guest is a dear friend of CharVision who helped birth CharVision 4 years ago, and it's Elisa Rothstein. Stein. I always said, I know it's Stein because I've known you for so long. And okay, so you're an award-winning television writer, producer, showrunner. I mean, you're so gifted. I mean, I've worked with you for so many years in television. And wait, so you produced Sharks Gone Wild?
Yeah, I did. I was able to do a Discovery Shark Week special. I've always been to be honest, I was terrified of sharks until my daughter Emily sort of, made me do total immersion therapy. Like, she loved Shark Week.
She does?
She would watch it for hours and hours and hours, and I finally got over my fear of sharks because of that. And we worked on it together. She was my associate producer. It was so much fun.
That's amazing. And she's lovely because she helped us with CharVision.
She did.
She was a big help.
Yeah.
Just like you were a huge help helping us. And I always am grateful to you for that. Really.
Right. Total pleasure.
We miss you.
I miss you too.
Thank
good to be
you.
Here.
Well, it's so great to be here because just so everybody knows, Elisa is a closet shaman and medium. And wait, you have deep roots in Celtic,
Egyptian, and Greek mythology.
Celtic, Egyptian, and Greek mythology. See, I still need you to produce me.
But I'm also a kitchen shaman.
You're a kitchen shaman. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Well, I love to cook.
I know you love to cook.
If you have seen my Instagram account or anything.
Yeah. I always favorite it.
And years ago, actually, when I was first sort of starting to reopen psychically in this lifetime, I was studying with an amazing woman named Victoria Ransom, who is a trance medium and a channel and an author.
Okay.
And we were talking about a lot of different things. And she said, Elisa, you're a kitchen shaman. I'm like, what? What is that? She said, when you cook for people, you infuse it with magic. And I wasn't even conscious initially that that's what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if you've ever seen the film Babette's Feast. There's sort of like a great meal that she makes at the end of the film.
I haven't, but it's like water for chocolate.
It's one of my favorite films. Definitely see it. But she uses food to express sort of love and poetry and emotion.
Isn't that like water for chocolate is like that, right?
Yeah, kind of.
But, like when I make egg bread challah, I say the prayers in it.
Yeah.
So it's similar.
Yeah, it's setting an intention when when you feed somebody, you're altering the energy of that substance. And that's very much what shamans do. So most people probably think of shamans in terms of the Native American tradition. Every tribe had their shaman. The shaman was not only usually a healer, it was somebody who could communicate with spirits and the other side. It was also somebody who was able to sort of harness earth energies and use them for healing or for transformation. But shamans were also very often the storytellers of the tribe.
Right.
So it kind of speaks to everything that I do, although
you're such a great storyteller.
Thank you.
But because you're an amazing producer.
Thank you.
And then so when I was booking the show today and Nikki and I were figuring it out, I thought, it's a full moon. We should get a shaman. Elisa's a shaman, I think, but I don't know. I'm calling her, and God bless you. You showed up. And so you do rituals with the full moon.
There are, I'm absolutely such a nerd when it comes to mythology. So I have sort of my short list of all of my favorite moon lore
tell us
and moon
about
goddesses.
it. Tell us.
Obviously, starting with the sort of elemental nature of the moon. So we know that the moon operates on the cycles of the tides and the flow of water. And since human beings are predominantly made up of water, the moon has a profound influence on us as well.
Okay.
Female cycles are connected to the moon.
I wake up in the middle of the night when there's a full moon.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah.
Last night too.
If you're sensitive to moon energy, and this happens to be, and we'll talk about why this is such a powerful full moon.
Yeah.
But in general, the full moon is going to sort of bring the completion of energies in any given month. So if you think about how the moon operates, there's actually 13 lunar months in a year. So There are 13 menstrual cycles.
13.
Yeah. So the number 13
I never thought about that.
is very significant. We are having a full moon on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Friday is a day that's associated with the goddess Venus, the goddess of love.
Right.
So not only the fact that the full moon tonight is falling on Friday the 13th, which only happens about every 20 years, the next one won't be until 2049. So
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We have to
2049.
Embrace this full moon
Yeah,
then.
this is a really powerful one. And when it peaks tonight at, I think it's 9:34 Pacific time, 12:34 a.m. Eastern, it's going to peak in the sign of Pisces. Pisces, if you've ever seen the symbol for it, it's the two fish, which is also a mirror of the yin-yang symbol. So the Pisces moon, the moon will bring out emotion anyway. It's a very acting on the water. Water is emotion.
Right.
When you add in Pisces energy, it's sort of doubling down on that water and emotion. So this is a really powerful moon to look at how your emotions are affecting your life. If you want to set an intention for relationships, for work, for health, for creativity, whatever else that might be, this is a great moon to do that. I mean, we have that up. Everybody forgets that we have 13 moons a year in the lunar year.
Right.
So every single month you have the opportunity to use the cycles of the moon for transformation. And what that I mean by that is
To manifest.
to set intentions. So the first thing that you can do during the dark of the moon is you release anything that no longer serves you. Like it's a giveaway time. With the new moon, you want to set intentions for things you want to change, things you want to manifest. If you want joy, more joy, love, and abundance in your life, you can kind of write out your intentions during the new moon. And what's amazing is by the time you get to the full moon, that is when those energies are going to peak, coalesce, and manifest. So you can literally track your progress every 28 days based on the cycles of the moon.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you do to manifest? What do we what teach our Char
Sure.
visionaries how to manifest and take advantage of this full moon?
Okay. So I think most people approach manifestation from a place of blockage as opposed to a place of flow.
Oh.
And again, what the moon is all about, think of it, the tides. The tides are constantly changing. The moon is changing. The famous line from Romeo and Juliet, "Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes. In her circled o'er, blessed our love, proved likewise variable." You know, the moon changes all the time.
That was really good that you knew that.
I've learned a few things in my
I mean, that's
years on this
Shakespeare.
planet. Yeah. Anyway, so again, the moon in general is about embracing change and embracing flow. And because we have this amazing Pisces energy that's informing this particular full moon.
But Pisces are sensitive people, right?
Very sensitive, very intuitive. So the other thing that happens during the full moon time is if you're already psychic, if you're already intuitive, it's going to turn the volume up on that by 50 decibels.
Wow.
If you are thinking that you're not intuitive, and I would say anybody tuning into the show probably is intuitive, and I know that, you know, so much of your work has been about helping people to sort of unlock their own intuition.
Yeah, because intuition takes you places logic never could.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, and the full moon is sort of like the battery pack to do that, particularly when you
the
have
battery pack. I love that
Yeah.
analogy.
Right. So when you sit down today, do it today before the moon peaks.
Yeah.
You can write out. Actually, let me roll it back. So one of the great things that you can do, again on a regular basis, doesn't have to wait for a full moon, is clear your space. And what I mean by that is a lot of people think about smudging and saging and whatever, but sweeping is the most simple elemental way to literally and metaphorically move that energy out, to clean out.
Clean it out.
So if you are sweeping,
Can you vacuum?
It doesn't have the same.
It's more sweeping.
It's literally because your
like
body
sweeping
is
it because
connected.
then you're intentionally doing it.
Your body's connected to the broom. You're also connected to sort of an ancient lineage of, and think about it, you know, Friday the 13th, moon energy, witches.
I'm
brooms
thinking of
and
Patty Negri
broomsticks.
right now.
Yes.
you brought to our
Yeah.
show, who's been a great guest for us.
Exactly. Yeah. So isn't it interesting that because the moon has always been associated with the divine feminine and female energies, that forgive me, the male patriarchy found a way to make that all negative and dark and evil, and it really isn't. It really isn't. But of
It's
course,
not.
it's not. With
It's
everything
not.
going
and the
on,
Friday the 13th is a lucky day.
it is. It absolutely is.
It's a positive day. It's not
Very
a
much
negative
so.
day, you guys.
Yeah, it's very powerful. It got perverted by the church into something negative because there were 13 apostles at the Last Supper.
Oh.
Yeah, and I believe the day that Jesus died was on the 13th of the month.
Oh.
So there's all this sort of Christian overlay,
Right.
making it negative. But if you strip that away and you look at the origins of the number 13 and all of the things that sort of coincide in Celtic and Greek and Roman mythology
Right.
with the number 13, it's a very powerful, positive day. So the moon is about divine feminine energy, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. That's energy that is necessary to balance the planet and your own life. We all need to sort of embrace the yin and the yang
We do.
in our own life.
We do.
Yeah. So the full moon is a great time. So if you start by sweeping your space
Okay.
and do it mindfully and intentionally, envision that you're sweeping out things that no longer serve you.
Right.
You're sweeping out energy that does not nourish you. You're sweeping out, in some cases, relationships that are not feeding you.
Right.
Like, be really mindful about what you're sweeping out when you're clearing your house. And then the next thing that you can do is you can burn sage and you can clear out any negative energies that maybe aren't in the physical realm. But it's really important when you do this that when you've finished clearing, you bring in sweetness. And you either bring in sweetness by burning sweetgrass or Palo Santo or any kind of sweet incense. It can be jasmine or pine or something.
So you have to bring something sweet.
Right. So think about
not
this.
food sweet.
No. Sweet
It's
smell.
got to be sweet smell.
Sweet smell. And preferably burning.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Because think about it. If you're clearing out, right?
You wanna fill it up.
The universe abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
So something's going to come in to fill that space.
Yeah.
Why not be the person setting the intention for what is going to fill that space?
The sweetness.
And have it be
and
sweetness,
the positivity.
joy, light, abundance, love, whatever energy it is that you want to manifest.
Or maybe some oils.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you know this, but I have oils now that we're selling in the office. It took me 10 years to put these oils together.
Perfect.
But we have like Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
We have protection oil.
Yep.
And we have uncrossing. So, you know what uncrossing is kind of like the sweeping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So with any sort of full moon ritual, I would highly recommend starting with clear your space by sweeping, clear your space by smudging, invite in that beautiful, joyous light and love and energy with something sweet burning.
And did you say we should write down what our intention is?
It's always a great idea to do that, and then you can burn them by the light of the full moon, release them so that the universe can absorb it and bring it back to you.
Okay.
So, and it's always a great idea to smudge yourself, cleanse yourself. The moon is all about the tidal pull, so water is a fantastic resource for that. If you have access to a swimming pool, get in the pool during the full moon. Literally
get in the
bathe
swimming
moonlight.
pool or the bathtub.
Or the bathtub. You can even just fill a basin with water. Take it outside where the moonlight can shine onto it, so that you're charging that water. And then the other thing that's great to do is if you have crystals, take all of your crystals, put them on like a nice clean tray or towel outside.
Yeah.
To charge in the light of the full moon.
And what do you use your crystals for?
It depends what they are, but selenite, are you familiar with selenite?
Yes.
Do you have selenite?
I have I don't know what it's called, but
Okay.
I have crystals.
Okay. So
People
obviously
give me gifts.
There's a million different crystals out there, but the ones that are particularly great to work with for full moon energy.
Yeah.
Selenite. Selene is the Greek goddess of the moon. So selenite is named after the Greek goddess of the moon. And you can tell why. It's this beautiful sort of
That's
glowing,
gorgeous. Can I touch it?
stone. Yeah.
I didn't know you can let people touch your.
Well, I'm going to
Oh
charge
my
them
God!
tonight in the full moon.
These are gorgeous.
Yeah. So you can go on Amazon and get, I think I bought 2 of these towers for like $10.
Ooh, look at in the light.
But here's the thing: if you're buying crystals from an Amazon, not a crystal shop that you've walked into.
Right.
You want to always cleanse and clear them when you get them to your house because you don't know what energy they've been.
Are you supposed to put
exposed
them in a
to.
conch shell? A conch shell? No. How do you how do you
There
clean?
are different ways to cleanse and clear them. The best is to bathe them in moonlight.
Bathe them in moonlight.
Bathe them in moonlight.
And do you put salt on them or anything, or what do you do?
No, I mean you
Just
can
water.
rinse them in water. You can rinse them in seawater if you're by the
What's
ocean.
this?
That's selenite as well. So you can buy selenite in wands or towers. I love the towers because they remind me of the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building
Well,
in New York.
it looks like a castle to me.
It does, yeah. And they're each a little bit different. Selenite is great for protection and purification. One word of caution with selenite, if you are sensitive to crystal energy, which a lot of people who are intuitive are,
right?
Don't sleep with it by your bedside.
No.
I made the mistake of doing that when I first started working with crystals. It was like somebody had plugged me into a turbo engine.
Oh,
gee. I was just buzzing all night. So be aware that, I have it tucked in various corners of my house because there's a little area of my house where I think it's a portal and things come by periodically. They're usually just passing through.
Right.
I've had a couple of not nice entities that
happens to people. That's why I teach the mirrored egg and the white light and go into the mirrored egg and send the negative back to where it came from.
So I have selenite tucked especially in that little corner of my house, and it just puts them on notice like, nope,
you're not welcome here.
Not an entry point for you. Thank you very much. Keep moving.
Thank goodness you figured that out.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
So you get rid of them. How do you get rid of them?
It took a very concerted effort. Part of it was doing constant clearing.
Right.
Part of it was trying to close that portal. My friend Pamela Beatty, who I had recommended for tonight's show, actually came over. There was something that had been kind of lurking around and sniffing out and was feeding on fear. So she's a demon eater. You have to meet her. She's incredible.
I would love to meet her.
She's incredible.
Bring her on the show.
I will, for sure.
Bring her.
So she
come on the show with her.
She ate that demon and got it out of.
She ate it?
Mm-hmm.
Are they fattening?
No, they're calorie free, but they can cause indigestion.
Crazy.
I know, it was crazy to watch it happen.
But she got rid of it.
She got rid of it.
Isn't that like playing with fire a little bit? Let me
She
knows what
that.
she's
doing. She's not a demon eater. She calls herself a sin eater.
Right.
So if there's dark energy, she's able to literally absorb it and send it where it needs to go.
And she keeps herself protected.
Very much. She's a badass.
She
sounds badass.
Fascinating. I would love to have her come here because I don't do that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't do that stuff. I send people to shamans. I send people to other people to get rid of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patty Negri, she can get rid of stuff too.
I met Pamela through Patty.
Oh, you did?
Yep. They've been friends for years.
Oh,
she's so cool. So anyway, I use the selenite to sort of do that. Other stones, obviously moonstone is a great one to work with moon energy. Howlite is another one. Chevron, amethyst, and they'll all do slightly different things. Some are for purification, some are for clarity, some are for opening psychically. But a great thing to do with any crystals you currently own is get them out of the moonlight, let them charge overnight.
Because what happens if you don't cleanse your crystals?
Well, like anything else. I mean, think of the windshield of your car. If you never clean that thing,
you would never see through
it and scratched and foggy, and you're just not going to be able to see or get the energy that you need.
And who's this lady? Will you pick her up?
This is, can you see her?
Can you see her?
This camera?
Yeah.
This is Hecate.
Hecate.
And
who is Hecate?
Hecate
See, you know so much. Like you're flipping me out of how much you really know.
Hecate is the Greek goddess of the moon. And so in a lot of mythologies, the moon goddess is actually a triple goddess. And it makes complete sense when you think about it. Mm-hmm. So the new moon would be representative of the maiden. Mm-hmm. The full moon would be representative of the mother. Mm-hmm. Full moon, full belly, fecundity, fertility. Right. And the dark of the moon is represented by the goddess Hecate or the crone. So it's literally the three phases of woman.
What's her job?
She is the watcher of the crossroads. She's also, if you look at her, she's got the hounds, which look like my greyhound, surrounding
your
her.
greyhound.
Yeah.
How is your greyhound?
My greyhound just turned 11 and is doing great.
God bless him.
Hecate is a badass too. She's got very intense, powerful energy. I only recently started working with her energy because I frankly was scared to do so until more recently. Think of it this way. When you pass through maiden to mother to crone energy as a woman, you've sort of gathered the collective wisdom of what each phase of that development has brought you. So you've, as a maiden, you've sort of learned about yourself and your sexuality and your place in the world and your identity as a woman. But it's a fairly new energy, a fairly green energy. When you pass through motherhood, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you had to have had a child to embrace the mother.
Right.
You have your furry child.
I do.
It's the maternal, it's the nurturing, not only of the people around you, but also taking that energy to nurture and feed yourself. And then
which is so important.
Yes. Yes. And when you get beyond that, and then you're in your crone energy is all about being able to hold the polarities of light and dark, life and death simultaneously. When you've lived to be a certain age and you've acquired a certain amount of wisdom, you just know the importance of every moment of life, but you also have the wisdom from experience to know how to sort of surf the flow and embrace the change. And that's what Hecate energy is all about. And it's fantastic. So she's more the sort of the dark of the moon energy.
But do you feel more empowered now that you've embraced because she understands both sides?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And so it takes one to know one. So if there's a dark thing, it can get rid of a dark thing.
Exactly. Yeah, her energy and power is so profound. It's if you are feeling like you're at a crossroads in your life, whether it's career-based, a relationship, financial, whatever it might be, Hecate is a great goddess, moon goddess energy to call upon to help you sort of weigh your options and choices and make a decision based on what's the word I'm looking for? Based on considering the light and the dark. Because I think a lot of people just stay in fear.
Yeah, and you can't live in fear. You have to live with knowledge.
Exactly.
And wisdom.
Exactly.
How was she created, do you know?
I don't know her backstory. I know that in Greece she was considered to be not only a goddess of the moon, but also of witchcraft and sorcery.
Right.
But again, I have to sort of put a little pin in that because I think men are very threatened by powerful women. So
right. It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. Like, not all men.
No,
Tony's not.
Yeah.
Tony puts up with me all the time.
Amazing. I don't know how amazing he is.
Yeah, but wow.
So I love her energy. I would, if you're anybody out there is sort of interested in exploring kind of different or unusual aspects of moon goddesses, Hecate is an amazing place to start.
Wow. I'm blown away about how much you know about all this stuff.
It's my jam. It's my closet hobby.
What is a shaman exactly?
So a shaman is somebody who is able to, whether in a altered state,
right,
or just because they're sort of an open channel, to receive information, messages, and communicate with the spirit world and the spirit realm.
Right.
Very often with the animal world and the animal realm, the natural world and the natural realm.
Right.
As I said, they were often the storytellers in any given tribe.
Oh yeah, you have said
but
that.
they also are able to manipulate energy. So one of the other women that I studied with, who is extraordinary, who I think we had on the show, her name is Lynn Creighton, and she's a sculptor.
Oh yeah, we had her on.
And she
was great.
Yeah, she does these amazing sort of bronze sculptures of these goddess figures and divine feminine figures. But Lynn is a very powerful medicine woman and shaman, and I studied with her and learned a lot about
But you've
that.
studied a lot.
I have.
So, but I mean, your main work is being a producer.
I work in entertainment, but I actually managed to sneak in almost every project I've ever done. I've managed to sneak in something spiritual or metaphysical.
What if somebody needed help with something? Are you open to helping them?
You mean in terms of like somebody who needed
if somebody needed help healing or if they wanted to hire you to help do something?
It's so funny. So when I first started doing this work, I was actually doing readings for people, but I would do it as a gift.
Right.
And if they wanted to offer some kind of a gift in return, a bottle of wine, flowers, make me dinner, that I was comfortable with. I was never comfortable with the idea of accepting money for it. And I'm still not quite there yet, but
you're worth it.
Thank you.
So if you have to own your power.
I know.
And a lot of times, if you give things away for free, people
don't value them.
They don't value them.
Yeah.
And then they feel entitled, and then they don't leave you alone.
True. Well, I'm going to give you something for free if we still have time, which is one of my favorite. You don't need to wait to do it for a full moon, but it's just a great moon-based meditation. It's called Moon Pump.
Okay, can we all do it together?
We can.
All the Char visionaries. We're doing Moon Pump.
So I will just preface this by saying I highly recommend that before you do Moon Pump, you do one other thing, which I call an aura check and clean.
Oh.
So we all know we have an auric bubble that surrounds us. It's shaped pretty much like an egg.
Right.
And what can happen is you can get holes in your aura. So you're leaking energy or other people are siphoning off that energy. Mm-hmm. You also have at your crown gate, you literally have a gate that sort of is your connection to divinity and spirit and all those kinds of things.
Right.
A lot of people are
our crown chakra she's talking about.
So a lot of people are walking around with leaky auras and a broken crown gate.
Okay.
So the first thing that you need to do, and if you know who your gatekeeper is, you can call on that person. If you don't, you can just call on any of the angels. Archangel Michael is a great one.
Right.
And you ask them to do an aura check and clean. And basically the way I do it is...
Can you see the aura? Can you literally see it?
You would close your eyes and envision your aura, your auric bubble. And then you would envision...
I'm seeing purple.
Okay, that's great. That's third eye. That's very high vibration.
Okay,
doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And then I envision my gatekeeper taking like a huge fishing net and running it from the bottom of my feet all the way up through my aura and removing all of this. It usually looks like really slimy, dark, dank mud.
Okay.
Like removing all of it. And then when the net's full, he throws it into the sun to destroy that energy forever.
Okay.
Sometimes it takes a couple of swipes with the net to get it all out. And then I imagine he's got like a shop vac that he puts at the top of my crown gate and sucks out any remaining darkness and negativity. And when that's complete, I imagine that my whole interior of my aura is being sealed. Any holes are being filled, like resin kind of pouring down on the inside of your auric bubble. And then you ask your gatekeeper or your angel to magically repair your crown gate so that it's tight. I see mine as a submarine hatch, but again, everybody's got like a different thing. Once your aura is cleaned and sealed and your gate's repaired, then you can do Moon Pump. So I imagine that I'm on my favorite beach. It can be anywhere in the world or any place that you feel connected to the water and the moon. And you imagine this beautiful silvery moon energy starting to filter down through your crown gate, spilling past your throat chakra, your heart chakra, all the way down through your body until it's shooting out of your toes. And then you imagine it kind of entering your head and spilling into and filling your auric bubble. So it's this gorgeous, tingly, silvery, beautiful moonlight. And it's filling up your entire body and aura and shooting out through your hands and your feet. And when your auric bubble is completely filled with this beautiful moon energy, then you seal it off so that it remains inside. And then the last thing that you do is you imagine that the outside of your auric bubble has become a mirror. So any darkness, negativity, or crap that anyone's throwing at you is going to bounce right off. Now, I will say when you first start doing aura check and cleans and Moon Pump, a lot of people are not used to holding that much energy for themselves. So it may feel very similar to having selenite like by your bedside. You might just feel like
you feel like you're on speed dry.
Yeah. Or tingling. But the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. And it is extraordinary.
I can feel the energy.
Yeah.
I can really feel it.
So imagine doing that under a full Pisces harvest moon.
Right?
You know, the power falling on Friday the 13th.
And what time today?
I believe it peaks at 9:34 Pacific time.
9:34 Pacific time.
And then it'll be in Pisces then. The other thing, by the way,
12:34
a.m.
Eastern. And what about Central? 11?
Yes.
11:34.
Right. So the other thing about this moon that we're about to have is it's the harvest moon. And they called it the harvest moon because back in, the farming days, they would literally use the light of the harvest moon to gather in the first harvest
The harvest.
of autumn.
Oh.
So if you think of it symbolically, whatever energies and intentions that you might have set at the beginning of 2019, you're now going to be reaping the harvest of looking at what goals did you set? Did you achieve them? What energies did you invite into your life? Do you need to recalibrate them? How are you handling your emotions? Do you need to be more mindful of your emotional health? This is a perfect time to sort of reaffirm your emotional and physical health. Eating better, taking better care of yourself,
right?
Being mindful of how you're feeling, being authentic about how you're expressing yourself. So the harvest moon is a wonderful time to sort of check in with where you are in this year. And then you've got a week more until the autumn equinox.
Okay.
When the forces of light and dark are in complete balance.
Okay.
And then we start moving into winter and the dying of the light.
Well, the Day of the Dead is the only day that good and evil get along.
Exactly.
And that's coming up because it's the day after Halloween, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, Dia de los Muertos is the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
I believe.
It's crazy.
I know.
How can people get a hold of you?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Elisa Rothstein.
Elisa Rothstein.
You can also
on Instagram
write to
and
the show
and Twitter.
You can find me on Facebook, Elisa M. Rothstein.
Yep. And if you need to go to char.net, we'll send it on to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So get out there, do your full moon rituals.
Clean,
sweep.
Manifest
cleanse.
what you want, kids.
Yep.
This is the time to do it.
You've got the turbocharged moon battery
and
behind
don't forget to put the sweet in after.
Yes. Bring in the sweet.
Thank you so much for being here. Oh,
I
love you too.
Happy full moon.
Thank you. Hey, happy full moon to you too, Friday the 13th. Okay, don't go anywhere. I'm going to do readings. So Tony is going to play something and then I'll be back. Hey everybody, it's Sunny and Char, and I just wanted to answer a couple questions. People have been calling the office and texting and emailing. Do I do private sessions? Well, yes, I do. And I love reading for my clients. I do phone, Skype, FaceTime, and in person if we're in the same city. I also teach intuition. So if you have an interest in doing that, or if you're interested in getting your family together and you want a group reading, I do those as well. So just call 248-909-2427, ask for Nicole, and I look forward to reading for you. Thanks. Hey everybody, it's Sunny and Char, and I just wanted to answer a couple questions. People have been calling the office and texting and emailing. Do I do private sessions? Well, yes, I do. And I love reading for my clients. I do phone, Skype, FaceTime, and in person if we're in the same city. I also teach intuition. So if you have an interest in doing that, or if you're interested in getting your family together and you want a group reading, I do those as well. So just call 248-909-2427, ask for Nicole, and I look forward to reading for you. Thanks. Okay, we're back. Let's get a caller. I was going to take more time to do readings, but Elisa was so knowledgeable we went over a little. So let's get as many readings in as we can. 773. Hi, I need you to say hello so I can hear your voice and feel your energy.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Okay.
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I need you to be open about everybody living and deceased. Don't just think of one person or one thing, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Because a lot of times people just want me to connect with one spirit or something, and I need you to just be open about everybody. I'm seeing an M initial or an S.
M makes sense.
Is that a female?
Yes.
And is she deceased?
Yes.
Okay. And is she spelled M-A or M-I?
M-A.
Like a Mary or Margaret or Marie?
Margaret.
Margaret, is this your mom or your grandma?
Well, my grandmother is Margaret, but I have another one that I was thinking of
Okay,
too.
so
it could be either one.
There's probably two Margarets here. One is your grandma, and then is the other one family?
Godmother.
Godmother. Okay, because I was hearing mother, so I feel like. Were you closer to your godmother though, Margaret?
Physically closer.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel them both with you, and somebody's showing me a recipe. Do you have a recipe from one of them, or did you cook with one of them, or?
I can't. Well, my grandmother used to cook things for me.
Yeah, because I'm seeing.
But I don't really have a recipe.
Okay, but she used to cook things for you, so that would be symbolic to me of the same thing. And then who's the man with the J or G?
J.
Is there a John or Joseph or James or J?
I can't think of a J right now.
Or G?
That's deceased. I can't think of one.
Or is there a living person like this?
Yeah, I have J living.
Is it okay? Is that a male though?
Yeah.
Did I say the name?
No.
Okay.
Well,
is it
close, but not quite.
what is it? J-A or J-O?
J-O.
Like Jonathan or?
Yeah.
Who is that to you?
That's my son.
Are you worried about your son?
No, I don't think so.
Did he start something new recently or get an advancement in something?
No, not that I know of.
Okay, all I know is I'm getting something different or positive coming around him, and I don't know if there's something that worries you or that ends up worrying that you don't need to, but does he have a truck or a SUV?
No, he's a child.
Oh, he's little. Do you have an SUV?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. There's something. Okay, so he's little. Is there something new in school coming to him or something? I feel like something positive coming for him with this. But I also, did you have an issue with your SUV?
No.
Did you have any issue with the light going on or some issue?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Was there any kind of yelling in the car or yelling in the back seat?
I can't think of any recently.
Okay, I'm not sure what I'm getting with this, but I want to make sure that you're not distracted when you're driving your SUV.
Okay.
But I feel something good coming for Jonathan with schooling, or it's not work, but it's what he does every day. There's something good coming around him. Is he smart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any kind of, I don't know, is he like, does he excel with something with numbers or
he is pretty good with math, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel something positive around him with this. I don't know what more to tell you with it. Where's his dad?
Oh, he's here.
Is he close to his dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he drive the SUV as well?
Yeah, we both do.
Okay, I'll just make sure nobody gets distracted when driving that SUV, okay?
Okay.
And
We are going on a weekend trip
and
where we'll be driving for a couple hours.
And I see more than one child in the car.
Yes.
So it's not just Jonathan, it's kids screaming or in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a B or R or B or R or D or R.
There's a D.
Is that a male?
Yes.
D-A or D-O?
D-A.
Like David or Daniel or?
Close. You want me to tell you?
Derek? I don't know the name, but it's D-A. Dave?
Damien.
Damien. Who is that?
That's my other son.
Your other son, yeah. It's the noise in the back seat or kids screaming or whatever. Don't get distracted with the driving. And I feel like you'll be fine. I feel like you guys will be fine, but don't get distracted. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good trip. Don't freak out about it. Don't make it happen. You'll be fine. Just don't get distracted driving that SUV. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See, also, Margaret will watch over you, so you don't have to worry about it. Both Margarets. Okay, next caller.
315.
Hey.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I wasn't sure if it was me or not.
It's you. It's you. Hi. Just say yes
Awesome.
just say yes or no to me. Is there somebody around you that's a Chris or a Charles or a C or an S?
Well, I have a friend who passed named Crystal.
Crystal's here. And
Okay.
and she didn't grow old, right?
No.
She was young.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you have some unfinished business with Crystal?
Well, no, not really.
Were you
She
able to
was
say-
a friend, we wished that we could have seen each other before.
Yeah, I was saying you didn't get to say
went
goodbye.
quick.
I feel like you didn't get to say goodbye. That's why I asked.
Yeah, she came to me in a dream right before she passed that had me a little concerned, but I guess she was kind of just in a state where she wasn't communicating at that point.
Yeah. She's very
Yeah.
happy she's very happy in the spirit world.
Okay, good.
So she must have been ill or something. She was glad to get rid of the body.
Yeah.
And she's grateful for your prayers.
Oh.
Yeah, why is she showing me a garden or flowers? I don't know why she's showing me this because she was far away from you, right?
Right. Yeah, because I had moved away, and we kind of we just had a connection. We met through work, but we were like cut from the same spiritual cloth.
Right.
I guess you could
right.
say.
Well, she's still your friend, and she'll still come and she'll visit you. Who's Ann? A-N-N.
Okay, well, that might be my mom's friend who passed years ago. When I was a child, she was around.
Was she like an aunt? An aunt to you? An aunt?
I mean, I guess you could see that I didn't really talk to her much, but she was just like a friend to my mom who was like family. So, yeah, I could see that.
I feel like Ann is here, and also there's a B.
Okay.
A B or
okay,
R?
well, I'm sorry, what was that?
A B or an R?
Yeah, there's 3 Barbaras on the other side.
I was going to say
There's
Barbara.
yeah,
don't say names. Just say yes or no. I was going to say Barbara. Is that your aunt or your grandma?
So it's my grandma, and my husband has 2 grandmas.
Yeah, I
named
feel like
Barbara.
they're all gathering around.
Yes, the Barbaras. The Barbaras do that. When we had gotten married, especially my husband's, who was it? His father's mother, Barbara. She seemed to be around kind of strongly. There was a very strong energy around at that time. and we had gotten a venue. And the venue, the woman who signed our paperwork was named Barbara. And then the next time we went to the venue, those owners and those people were gone, and it was a new owner. It was like Barbara was just there to sign our contract, so it was kind of symbolic. But anyway.
You know, you're very intuitive. You're very interesting to me because you understand the signs. You understand when the universe talks to you. You understand the signals of intuition.
Oh, yeah.
You're very good at this.
I ruined my husband's proposal. He had the ring hidden in the car. He brought the day he brought it up and hid it in the closet. I sprung out of bed because I had this bracelet that was very symbolic that I had worn over the years, and I had this dream that it had broken and it disappeared into this white abyss. And I knew that it meant our relationship was going to a different level, or it was going to end, or something was changing. And I ran out. And he's like making breakfast. And I'm like, oh my God, I had this dream. I know it's a sign. It wasn't just a dream, because I know what that feels like when you have, you know, a dream that means something. And as I pointed at the bracelet on my wrist, I didn't even touch it. It fell and broke to the floor. And I just looked at him and I said, something is going on. And he was freaking out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and everywhere I went, I mean, there were so many signs, but yeah, I do. Symbolism to me is just important. It just comes natural to me to understand symbols.
Don't ever doubt it. Always listen to your intuition. Always act upon it. Is there a Mike or Mark or Matthew?
Matthew's my husband.
Matthew, yeah. So Barbara says, hey, Matthew. Hey, Matt. Barbara's sending hugs and kisses to Matt, the M male.
Aww.
So you guys need to embrace it, because, you know, love is the bridge that connects us to the other side, and our spirits, guides, and our loved ones are only a thought away. They're like right there, and they're very strong around you. And excuse me, when you have dreams, you need to keep paper and pen by your bed, because you're going to be guided about things. You can help prevent problems and attain goals.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love dreams. I've always loved dreams. I've had some pretty good experiences,
Why
dream
do I
or not.
Why do I keep seeing either a garden or a grave site, something with flowers?
There may be a garden, maybe connected to Crystal. I don't know if her family did that.
Well, what if it's not Crystal? What if it's not Crystal? What if it's Barbara?
Okay, I'd have to see about Barbara, but there is something just recently a year ago, my mom's friend, her son passed away, and I sent her a card that was plantable, and she
That's what I'm getting.
garden.
I think I'm getting the young man. I think somebody's trying to come in with symbolism of a garden, of planting a garden or flowers. Did I give you his initial at all?
No.
Is there an E or A with his name?
Not his first name. I'm not sure about like a middle name or anything.
And is there an S or C or K or C in his first name?
No.
What about the mom?
Nope.
Okay. And what about the middle name? Do you know? You don't know?
I don't know.
And there's not an M or N?
No.
With either of them. Okay. Okay, I'm mixed up with this. I don't know the name. And there's not a J or G, huh?
There is a J. My grandpa. I mean, I knew him as he was my great grandpa, but I just knew him as a grandpa, Joseph.
Joseph or James. Okay, I feel like your grandpa's here, but I also am feeling this young man is thanking you for the garden that you sent to the mother. And I don't know the other names. I'm not getting the names right exactly. But that's why I keep seeing the garden. How lovely of you what a wonderful gesture that you did that. Anyway, tell Matt that the Barbas are sending their love to him, and they're watching over you and your family.
Oh, Oh, thank you so much.
Was it windy?
It's so awesome speaking
Was it
with
windy
you.
where you are? Was it windy?
What were you saying?
Windy. Was it windy? Or raining
Windy?
or windy?
It's windy where we are.
Where you are. Yeah, I see. They're telling me it's windy
today.
Yeah, they're telling me it's windy there. Anyway, you're lovely. And honestly, don't ever doubt your feelings and your intuition. You really will always be tipped off and guided.
Thank you. Yeah, and I have given readings over. Actually, some of the things you guys were discussing earlier were kind of really synchronistic for me. Over the years, especially the last several years, I will give readings away for free once or twice a year, and I have gotten some testimonials and stuff. And I just want to make sure that it's right. I haven't ever stepped forward and sort of accepted money for it. But I would like to expand on that because in this sort of culture, it's hard to know where my place is.
Why don't you tell people to make a donation, what they can afford?
Yeah.
Maybe start with that. Anyway, thank you so much for calling in and trusting me.
Thank you. You're awesome. This is so random. I've never tuned in before, and I happened to see it on Instagram, so I thought, why not? But I've definitely seen you on TV with John Edwards and everything like that, and it's awesome to speak with you.
Oh, thank you. It's my honor and my pleasure. Take good care of yourself.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, kids, that's it for tonight. We're back after a vacation this summer, and I'll be back this coming Friday. So I'll take more callers. So please have your friends call in, and I hope you watch again. And remember what I always say: intuition will take you places logic never could. Take good care. Bye. Sunny says bye. Bye.